Okay, today we are going to begin the first day of tissues. This lesson is going to be an intro to tissues. Histology is the study of tissues, just like cytology is the study of cells, biology is the study of life, meteorology is the study of weather phenomena. Histology is the study of tissues. And you guys are going to be amateur histologists for the next couple weeks. So by definition, tissues are groups of cells that work together. We have groups of cells that are similar in structure and perform a common or related function. You can't just have any cell. You have to have similar cells. And when you have a row of cells that are all the same type working together, that's considered a layer of tissue. Tissue is known as the fabric of the body. There are a grand total of 4 basic types of tissue. Do you remember how many organ systems there are? 11. So we have 11 organ systems, but there's only 4 basic tissue types. The first one that we're going to start on Monday is epithelial or epithelial tissue. Carson, can you say that word? Epithelial. The next one is connective. The third is muscle. Don't call it muscular, say muscle. Yes, Natalia. In a moment. And the fourth and final is going to be nervous tissue. Now, what are they responsible for? Well, epithelial is responsible for covering. It covers a lot of your hollow organs. It covers a lot of your surfaces that separate one area from another. Connective tissue supports. It holds you up and it holds you together. Muscle tissue helps you move. And you see these horror movies where there's a skeleton walking around. A skeleton can walk around by itself. It has to have muscle. And then the nervous system controls. Most organs in your body contain all 4 tissue types. However, how those tissues are arranged determines their anatomy and their physiology. And let's see what you guys may remember from the first unit. What is the difference between anatomy and physiology? Okay, physiology is function. And anatomy is structure. Well done. how the tissues are arranged are going to determine the organ's anatomy and physiology, how it's structured and how it functions. All right, and now we're going to just go, just an overview of what the 4 tissue types are. The first one and we will begin this one on Monday, is epithelial. Epithelial tissue forms boundaries between different environments. Like behind you all, there's just a huge window that goes across the back wall. That could be like epithelial tissue. It's separating our environment from the outside environment. That's what it does. Epithelial tissue also protects, secretes, absorbs, and filters. Now, you all are new to the anatomy and physiology game. You're barely a month in, but I'd like to see if you might be able to tell me what organ systems, or at least maybe what organs are being described when I say secretes. What system would that be? The what? The endocrine system. What is the endocrine system made of? Like, what are the structures that secrete hormones? Glands. Well done. How about absorbs? What absorbs? Huh? Not the liver. Anyone? Olivia? No. No, that secretes. It's the site where the majority of digestion takes place. Your intestines, small intestines specifically. And what organs are responsible for filtering? Kinda, but there's a pair of them. Kidneys. Okay. So epithelial tissue is found in the lining, and let's rephrase that. It's found in the lining of digestive tract organs and other hollow organs. So your esophagus, your stomach, your intestines, maybe a little bit of the uterus and blood vessels, those are hollow too. It's found in glands. You've already said that's the endocrine system. And the skin surface. What system does your skin belong to? The integumentary. That's the tough one to remember. Big word. So I'm going to tell you guys that when you have your test on tissues, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to try to do this. You guys are going to have your test, and you're going to have a conga line forming around the room. And throughout the room, there's going to be multiple stations. And the station is going to have microscopes. And you're going to look you will have 60 seconds to look in the microscope and to identify what type of tissue it is. I remember doing this when I was in an anatomy class in college. Some stations you'll have a break, just 60 seconds, where you're just like, I'm good. I don't have to do anything right now. But other times you'll be looking at the microscope and you're like, that looks like hyaline cartilage to me. Right now you're saying, the heck is hyaline cartilage? You'll learn, but that's going to be something I'm going to try to set up. Very college pre-med environment. Okay, next one. Let's do connective tissue. Connective tissue supports, protects, and binds other tissues together. This includes bone, tendons, fat, and other soft padding tissue. Now, when I say other soft padding tissue, let's see if you know what I mean. What type of tissue is found at the ends of bones to prevent bone-on-bone grinding? When you get arthritis, this tissue is pretty much gone, and you do have bone-on-bone grinding. Cartilage, yeah. If you go to KFC, that chewy stuff that's at the end of a bone, that's cartilage. Don't chew that. It's nasty. And blood. Blood is actually considered connective tissue. So this includes the various types of cartilage. It also includes bone, tendons, ligaments, blood. This one has the most variety. The next two are really easy. If you saw these in the microscope, you're going to be like, oh, I got that. That's easy. The toughest one is connective tissue. There's just so many different types. The third one is muscle tissue. Muscle tissue contracts to cause movement. There are three types of muscle. Do you know which one you actually have control over, where you consciously control it? Well, which one is voluntary? Skeletal muscle, very good. So the first type of muscle is muscles attached to bones. This muscle is called skeletal muscle. This would be your biceps, your triceps, your pectoral muscles, your gluteus maximus, your caps, your quads, all the muscles in your body, your traps, your lats. You have about 630 some muscles. You have conscious control of them. You're in charge. Next is going to be the muscles of the heart. Can you control your heart? Nope. I had one kid a long time ago say, Mr. Thorson, I can control my cardiac muscle. Yeah, how's that? Well, when I run, it makes my heart go faster. So I control my heart. No, you are running, and that's causing your heart to beat faster to get blood to your skeletal muscles. Can you sit still and make your heart beat faster? No. Okay, then. And then third one, the muscles of walls of hollow organs. This is called smooth muscle. You do not have control over it. Ladies, not to get too personal, but if you could stop a menstrual cramp, I'm sure you would. But the uterus is hollow, so can you control it? No, because it is made of smooth muscle. Now, muscle contracts. It pulls and it moves. You just don't determine it. You're not in charge. Some of you will have children one day, and when you're in the hospital giving your contractions, which is your uterus pushing, trying to get that baby out of there, the doctors can look on the screens and say, oh boy, here goes another contraction, because there's a certain hormone, which you'll learn later, called oxytocin, that makes your uterus contract. So when they see a spike in oxytocin, they'll say, okay, here comes another one. You're like, oh boy, oh God. And then you start to feel it, and you're like, ah, and you're just trying to push it out. It's like having a cramp, but you can't control it. Okay, and the last one is nervous tissue. This is all about internal communication. This will be the brain, spinal cord, and nerves. And by the way, eventually we'll get to the nervous system. I can't tell you how many people forget that nerves are in the nervous system. I'll say, all right, guys, what are the three parts of the nervous system? The first two are easy: brain, spinal cord, and what's it called? It's called the nervous system. It has nerves. And that's it. These are the four tissues that we'll be covering over the next few weeks.